Welcome to part 7 of our Medicare sales training course. Chris Costanza here with Joey the Hitman Sargent. He is the very man himself that trained the assassin, Daniel Bellamy. He's the man, some people call him a myth, for his mythological-like sales numbers. Some people call him even a legend, Joey Sargent. So today we're going to be talking about how do you, now that you've transitioned the PNC client into your Medicare, you got the appointment, you got them in the system, you run the application, you got the quote into it, you got the information, you got the quote sheet, you got all that stuff. How do you onboard them? How do you let them know what's going to happen, right? Imagine I don't know anything. Demystify this for me. Do I have to contact their prior carrier? Do I have to contact their broker? Who do I contact to cancel their prior policy on a Medicare Advantage or Medicare Supplement? How do I do that? I click the submit button with the carrier, but how do I make sure they don't keep paying 2 different bills?
Right, that's a good question. By the way, clarity is your responsibility. The client's clarity is your responsibility to make sure they understand everything. That's what I always say. I believe seniors deserve to understand everything regarding their Medicare as much as they want to.
Right.
And so here's the thing. When I'm with a client, I'm talking to them, I'm saying, hey, I'm going to run this application for you. I'm going to push this through to the underwriting, okay? It's going to go through the underwriting. They're going to look at your health questions. They're going to make sure that you qualify. Assuming everything goes well, what's going to happen is you're going to get the paper in the mail. You're going to get the hard copies, okay? There's also going to be a letter that goes out to your prior carrier, Humana, United Healthcare, Bankers Life, whoever it is, right? Going to go out to them to make sure you're not paying 2 policies at once. That's also something we as a team are responsible for.
Now, how do we do that? How do we make sure that happens?
Basically, what we do is we call the carrier and we say, hey, we call the carrier that they're being submitted in. We say, hey, has this been issued yet? They say yes. We say, all right, have you sent off the replacement notice? There's a replacement notice in all of Medicare that goes out automatically from one carrier to another in order to make sure that people don't have double
So
policy.
much of this is automated.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the sales agent doesn't necessarily have to worry about it. They just have to get all the information to the admin team.
That's correct.
Okay.
And oftentimes the application that you're submitting will have a space where you need to put in the policy number for their current policy so that the back-end work can be completed properly.
So Humana could then send a letter to Mutual of Omaha and cancel the Mutual of Omaha policy.
Exactly.
So these sales agents don't need to be worried about, what if they have a broker?
Doesn't matter. A broker is like Walmart or Target. It's the middleman. It sells the product from this person to this person, but it by itself has no responsibility other than making sure that transaction is smooth.
So you turn into the administration team, you turn in the quote sheet, right? And you turn in a sales checklist.
That's correct.
Now the quote sheet is different than a sales checklist, or is it the same thing?
We're working on combining them. Right now they're slightly different, but they're pretty similar. So this is a health agent checklist, okay? You're gonna get each one of you is gonna get one of these things. And you just write down all the information. This makes it very easy to not miss anything because we've gone through this, we've made sure that all the information you need is gonna be there. Now, some of these are more needed for Medicare Advantage, some are more needed for Medicare Supplements, but as long as you fill this out in completion, you're going to have everything that you need to submit all the policies every single time. Very, very simple.
So the key is a smooth transition from your sheet to the admin team, right? That's the key, right?
Yep.
And you can tell them with certainty, the client with certainty, we will make sure all the back end work is handled for you. We'll get you taken care of. We'll make it easy. Explain the process to them, right? You want to make sure you collect their emails. Verify it 2 or 3 times because the email is going to be the way that we automate so much of our communication with them. That way when we call them, it's a warm and fuzzy relationship. If they don't have email and we're just sending out mailers, it's not going to be as often and as touched. We want to make sure these folks that are clients of ours are getting touched 7 to 10 times a year, right? Not just on the Medicare side, but also on the farmer side, right? And that's going to be key because when they see us, get familiar with us, it starts to build this brand awareness. It starts to build top mind awareness. You always tell your client every time, hey, before you ever make a change on this Medicare, before you ever make any change, you call me directly.
Yes.
People can be trained. Okay? People can be trained. You must tell them before you do anything with your Medicare Advantage, before you do anything with your Medicare Supplement, before you even think about canceling, call me. This is the highest possible thing. And you don't ask them, you don't suggest it to them, you say it with authority. Before you do anything, I need you to promise me this. Call me. Because cheaper is not always better. Cheaper could kill somebody.
It's true. It's true. There are people who went with a cheaper price and it didn't pay for their prescriptions the way that they needed it to. And the prescriptions cost $2,000 a month that they don't have. And they go without the prescription.
Right, and then later on in life they can't enroll because they're no longer eligible.
Or they pass away.
Right. We'll go into next two. Stay tuned. We'll go in the next part.